Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what this video is about. It is about the latest appearance of the Meghan Markle on the internet. So she recently went viral with reading a book to her son Archie for his first birthday, and a lot of people took issue with this book reading. I personally found it an odd book reading because I didn't see why Archie was dressed in a basic baby grow from what I could see, with a nappy that looked like it had been used, and he wasn't really having a special moment, a special day, and it wasn't your atypical happy birthday son post. I felt that the video was very contrived. She was looking at the camera a lot. I could hear Harry's voice in the background. He seems to have adopted a slight American twinge to his accent. Meghan seemed very... I've always found this with her voice, especially after listening to clips of the Elephant documentary. She has this anchorwoman type sound. Comment below what you think, but she sounds like an anchorwoman to me. She sounds like she's reading the news. There's something very brash in her tone, and she doesn't have a lot of softness or layers to her voice. So she was reading to Archie in a similar tone that she read out in the documentary for the Elephants, and it just didn't really go together. She wasn't engaging with her son. He seemed very disengaged to me personally. He was wriggling on about, and the book definitely seemed for an older child, as he could just about focus on it. The book is a lovely book, but for a child of that age, the colours just simply weren't bright enough. It's a muted style book with Duck Rabbit. I think it was called Duck Rabbit. It was all about the camera. And then what I found really quite insulting, and this is on baby Archie's part, was the fact that she used his special day, and she used this video to promote a charity. Now, I understand that her and Harry are self-proclaimed humanitarians. They are self-proclaimed charity heads, and they want to get into more charity work, and they want to start and kick off this Archwell Foundation. And the lockdown is finally lifted. But to use your son's first birthday as a promotional tool to self-promote your own interests, to self-promote your own business and your career, I think is quite distasteful. I think it's in bad taste. I think it was definitely unnecessary. A lot of people have also commented on Meghan's roots coming through. It seems that she's gone grey at the front and she's holding on at a thread. She's definitely not having a hairdresser come in. She's definitely not having any beauty treatments from what I could see, especially regarding her hair. So it would appear that she's gone grey, which is, I guess, it's a testimony to her age. She claims that she's 38. A lot of people have made thousands of comments on my videos that she's actually 43. It's open to debate. She's holding to 38, but her hair has gone grey. That's what I saw personally. I also found it really strange that Archie didn't have a cake. Archie didn't have any nice clothes. It's his first birthday. I really was loving the pictures that Kate posted of Charlotte for her birthday. It's not her first birthday, but what she posted was really sweet, and I thought it was very appropriate. There was no acknowledgement of his grandparents or any of the extended family, which he has plenty of. And obviously we know that baby Archie doesn't have any real images with his cousins or his aunt and his uncle because of what Meghan and Harry have chosen to do. He's leading a really isolated life. I also found that, personally for me, Archie seems to have appeared to look younger. I think that this clip was not possibly a clip of him actually being one. He looks a bit younger than one. I would say he was about 9 months in the clip. So they're not allowing us to see baby Archie. And another thing that I didn't like about this was the way in which the Sugars have really used this clip as a weapon to bash people down, especially people who are not of colour. So, like I said on this channel many times before, I'm a woman of colour, and that's why I felt the need to create this, to actually dispel this illusion that we are racist, that the British people are racist, or anyone who criticises Meghan Markle and Harry are racist. It's just simply not true. So an author, a famous best-selling author, Emily Giffen, who is aged 48, she's American, blonde-haired lady, actually shared a text exchange with one of her friends regarding her personal thoughts about the video that Meghan and Harry decided to upload, this family that wants a private life, onto the internet for their alleged charity work that they care about so much, yet they're living in a mansion. Besides the point, that's another video. And she branded her Unmaternal and Phony. And I actually couldn't have agreed with her more. So she shared this text conversation saying she just felt that it was very contrived and it was very self-promoting. And it's everything that I think a lot of us have felt, a lot of people who've been following the story of Meghan and Harry, the soap opera that they have us all watching. And I agreed with her. So she said here, Archie's adorable, but that video screamed, look at me, I need attention as the doting mother. She's a joke. I can agree more with her. It was a look at me video. Why did she need to be in the video? Why did she have to demonstrate how unused to holding Archie she is? Meghan does definitely look like someone who's been extremely hands-off with her son. She doesn't look like she's used to handling him, reading or gauging his mood. She couldn't see that he wasn't interested. He actually reached for a different book at one point and she said, oh, no, we're reading this one. It's his birthday, right? So if it's his birthday, he should be able to swap and change and read whatever book he wants to read. He was probably very unengaged or uninspired by the colours because it's for an older child with more of a higher concentration span to actually get the story. It served no purpose for baby Archie. He was just simply too young for this book. So she definitely looked like someone who was very detached from her son, I have to say it. Then she went on to say, it was also sad how she seemed just slightly annoyed Archie wasn't fully cooperating to her standards. He's one for crying out loud. And that's true. She did seem annoyed. She did seem frustrated. She wrenched the other book away. She said, no, we're going to finish this one. And then she's looking at the camera. She's trying to smile. It seemed fake. It seemed forced. She seemed unnerved and irritated by Archie's lack of engagement with this book, which is simply for an older child. And it looked awkward, extremely awkward. Then she carried on to say, it was so uncomfortable. She's such a phony. So this woman is an international best-selling author, and from what I've picked up about her profile, she's an avid royal watcher, so she's a big fan of the royal family. And I can completely understand where she's come from. She also shared about 6 or 7 posts where she actually was a fan of Meghan and Harry. And I think that happened to a lot of people. A lot of people were big fans, like I've shared on this channel millions of times. A lot of people were big fans of the couple, but it's so hard to like them. And especially as a British taxpayer, it's really frustrating because we are literally paying for Meghan and Harry to essentially disrespect us. They're wasting our money. We're now funding them renting this Tyler Perry mansion. We're paying for the rent of that. Nothing has been disclosed to us, yet we know that Meghan hasn't worked in the last 3 years. Harry's never worked in his entire life, and they're living it up in Beverly Hills now. They're running around clout chasing, and we can't say anything. It seems as though there's been this censorship of freedom of speech, and no one can actually talk about where their tax pounds are going. We don't have the freedom, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. So I personally agreed with what Emily Giffen said, and a lot of people have agreed with it. I scrolled through and I picked up a lot of comments that were floating around on the internet regarding Meghan and Harry, and it's just true. So one lady, Yaya from London, said it was like she was determined to read that book despite the child showing little interest. There are so many better books to engage a 1-year-old with. She made herself the focus, self-promotion as usual. Another person said, called Noel, said, I cringed watching it. Sounded like a documentary rather than story time, which she does. She has that very anchor woman telling the news reporter type voice. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your talent, that's your talent. But it's so out of context. I don't think she has the tonnage or the range of a Natalie Portman or a Charlize Theron. Her voice is very hard. It's very factual, and it just doesn't fit. It's not in keeping, and she certainly didn't sound like someone who'd really been reading to her child that much. So another person, Foggy Jew from Dublin, said, I agree with her. She did not make any racist comments. Why does Meghan have to make everything about her? She does not look at all natural at ease, and that's another thing that really frustrated me. There was a lot of accusatory comments from the Sugars, branding it racism and saying that Emily Giffen is an example of a white woman attacking a black woman and the type of stuff that black women have to deal with. But you're taking it out of context here. Meghan Markle is a woman of biracial descent. She's not a black woman, but a lot of the Sugars who are black women have decided Meghan Markle is straight up 100% a black woman and having a fully black experience. And the reality of it is she's not having a fully black experience. She's having a biracial descent experience. So one woman actually said on Emily Giffen's page, she said, white women hating black women who just mind their business and simply exist will always amuse me. She looks like one of those women that belittles everything black women do. How sad, pathetic and spiteful. No, Emily Giffen does not sit around belittling everything that black women do. What she does is she's a royal watcher, so she's going to have an opinion because she was a fan of the family. She still very much is a fan of the family. I've scrolled through her posts. She has raised black issues. She talks about some black issues here and there. She's touched on it, and I do not expect a white woman to sit around talking about black issues that don't pertain to her. It makes no sense. It's almost like an extension of some kind of psychosis. Why should a white woman be forced to talk about various black issues that do not affect her, her children, her future, or her community? But these black women, a lot of these Sugars, they have a lot of things back to front. So anyway, guys, that's what I'm going to say. It really flies in the face of freedom of speech. We have a lot of this going on now. And I think that Emily Giffen should be given a break. She's not racist by any means. She was simply sharing an opinion. I'll be back, guys, with another video. Bye, guys.